I really thought this painting was going to sell years ago. I really thought this was my baby, the creme de la creme, the automotive American icon. But it's still here. Anyway, what's happening, babies? What's happening, guys? Elton McFall here, who not feeling 100% today. As a matter of fact, yesterday and the day before were worse, and I think it was just the stupid pericarditis acting up. Unfortunately, past couple of days there, just feel really tired and headache and all this crap. So I would have had this finished a couple of days ago, but like I said, I just wasn't feeling fantastic. But I just got her done, and this is the first time I'm proud to say ever in all the paintings I've ever done that wasn't that wasn't a commission. It wasn't a painting for somebody that actually this sold almost right when I started it. Like within days. I mean, how cool is that? So big thanks again to Lenny out in BC, one of my biggest fans. She's bought a few paintings from me, as well as Scott has as well. And then there's some of you other guys also I did some paintings for. As you can imagine, by all this lengthy detail, it was not quick to make this. I mean, it's for me when I start drawing something out and adding paint to the body or the ground or scout up. That's the easy stuff. Even if you have to put layers, I have to paint the silver, whatever, 3-4 times, sky a couple of times, ground a couple of times. And when you start to get into all the little details, man, all the windows and stuff, and all the rubbers or gaskets around the windows, the lights, this actually is what gave me the hardest time, even finishing with this. The headlights, the headlight bezels, the paneling here with the GM sign. And finally, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. That's fine. That's good enough. If I keep messing with it, I'm just going to keep making mistakes, which is what I was doing. So, when I did this, I was like, well, what am I going to do for a background? I'm like, let's just keep it simple, because I knew it was going to take a lot of hours I even lost track how many hours I did on this. I don't know if it's 15, 20, it's a lot. So, that's why it's sold for $300. So I just want to show you the couple of pictures I used for reference for this Laval new look. Now, if you guys aren't too much into transit buses, or you're not aware of Quebec too much, Laval is basically a town just off the island of Montreal. That's just north of here. And I always thought this was a cool livery. I think this is the only transit agency maybe in North America practically that their buses were all silver like that, right? I mean, these buses were known as silver sides because starting in 1959 when the GM New Look was made, the iconic GM New Look, I mean, this is really the top of the line, like the most popular buses ever made. All this here was all aluminum, stainless steel. So that's what was cool about Laval. But originally their buses, the stripes were all red. So then sometime in the late 80s, when the classics were out, they went to this funky paint scheme. So here's one of the pictures I downloaded. Right, there's one New Look that was rebuilt. Actually, wait a second. Oh, trying to make it. Yeah, there we go. So you see, this New Look looks clearly like it was rebuilt. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, it had to have been rebuilt. Looked brand new, right? There's this picture, and then there was this one I used as well, because this one was outside and the lighting was better. And it's funny because although I'm from Montreal, I did live in the West Island for many years. So there were times when I would go to the Grenet bus terminus for the 68, the 64, the 69. Then you had this one route where you would see sometimes these New Looks coming in. And I think the last time I saw one was at rush hour, because my dentist was there at the Grenet. So this was probably about 2003. But then again, at that point, I was living in Pierrefonds and Emma Bay, and I remember seeing the last time seeing one of these with the blue, kind of a purpley blue stripe with the pink, and of course I like that picture. I used the other picture with the Aldo ad, because that's a Canadian company, local company, I guess. There it is, the Aldo right there, and it's funny because you guys, me, you've been watching my videos long enough. I still have that one GM New Look painting I did, I don't know, three years ago, I guess, much larger than this, and it's of a Montreal New Look. One of the last ones in the brown livery, and then they went to blue in 73 or 74. And even the first time I did a painting of a new look was almost 20 years ago when I had a basement apartment in NDG, but it was just like, it was just a close-up of this. It was just this here. Actually, if we go to my room, I'll show you, because this year I had a print blown up from one of the only few pictures I've ever taken of new look buses. Oh no, wait, it's not here. Sorry, it's true. I moved it to the office to use it to paint the front of this guy right here, you see. Yeah, one of the few pictures I ever took of Montreal new looks, regrettably, because I had no idea that by the end of 2002 they would all be retired. So when, you know, of course the quality was so legendary, like other agencies, that a lot of those buses actually wound up in Cuba. And even to this day, there are people who still believe that those buses are still in service, but they what did they do, 10 years maybe? I mean, they didn't have the parts for them. They were already worn out anyway. So, and the Detroit diesel is an amazing engine, but it's also known as a Drip-Troit because they leak so much oil. So yeah, old technology, man. So there you go. And as I just put a picture on Facebook of this finish, that I'd like to eventually, soon enough, also sometime in the near future, make another new look, but a TTC bus. So that, keep that for you guys in mind if you have the Buckaroos, because this is a $300 job right there. Okay, that's really, it's not just the quality, it's the amount of work involved in making this. And you know, actually, frankly, the thing too I almost forgot to mention is I'm very proud of about really able to actually center this right. I actually did something different for a change. Usually when I would start doing a drawing, I would usually start by the wheels, okay, or the front. So what I actually did instead is I just started with the whole outer body in my mind. I figured, okay, how is this going to look? And I pretty much nailed it. Obviously the front is a little cut off slightly, but it doesn't matter. It looks awesome. I mean, where the hell are you going to get a painting of a Laval freaking GM fishbowl new look classic? You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, I don't even know what the hell year this bus is. Probably likely, you know, like any of them that remained in service at any transit agency, most of them, it was probably, I would figure 80 to 83, one of the last ones, you know. Of course, these buses were even made until 86. I think Santa Monica even had an 86. And of course, they were, at that point, they were all made here in Quebec at the plant in Saint Therese, which oddly enough, ironically, was bought by Nova Scrap. Oh, I'm sorry, Nova Bus. I'm such a prick, eh? You know why I say that? Because I was still pissed off with that goddamn STM, because most of the scraps are here in the East End, for Christ's sake. Sons of bitches, you bastards. I even thought this morning of calling them because I was in a bad mood and complain about it. What the hell is that going to do? Not going to do nothing. So basically, you know what they say, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Here, look at this. I even use this here, this photo here. This is a photo that I had blown up from a slide, one of the many slide photos I used to buy years ago on eBay. You can see that very similar angle. This is AC Transit. This is AC Transit Alameda County, which is Oakland. I don't know how that works, but anyway, clearly a picture taken in the 80s. Nice looking buses. I see, just like Laval has the two-piece doors. And Laval, Montreal, by the way, is one of the few companies that actually had the larger rear doors. They were actually four-piece doors. So that's it, guys. Thanks again for watching. If you're interested in having me do something for you as a painting, as a vehicle, preferably vintage, old, my email is eltonmcfall@hotmail.com. eltonmcfall@hotmail.com, or you can find me, of course, on the old Facebooks. Oh, here, by the way, speaking of new looks, I did this really for me, but this is for sale. This is actually a picture that a friend of mine took back in probably 99, I think it was. And that, in fact, is a new look running in Cuba, in Veradero. And he even told me that there was one that he saw that still had the 68 Pierrefonds sign on it. Still on there, so there you go. And yeah, $60 for that. Some of my original works here, hubcaps. There you go. So thanks again, guys, for watching. You take care and be well, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.